Last but not least, for the bees, we have Congresswoman Janelle Benham, and she just got into office. I can't find any information on her. She was just sworn in January. Going to congress.gov, no sponsored bills. She has co-sponsored 22 of those bills, 22 bills, um, and they are very much pro equality. The number one, the first one, or the most recent one, with 72 co-sponsors, was to prohibit discrimination based on an individual's texture or style of hair. And she is a black woman. You see the picture, obviously. I keep talking about this, but I can't put the picture up as I'm talking about it. But when it comes to that particular thing right there, um, many people don't know this, but there's been a lot of code put into the workplace on what is acceptable and what isn't. And quote unquote, a lot of black hairstyles are not acceptable. And that's not just even at work. You also have my cousins, they ended up going to a private school, and some of them were sent home because their hair, they had braids. And when I say braids, I'm not talking about like twists and intricate like cornrows and things like that. I'm talking about the girls had braids, and it was their hair because their mother does their hair, and now they do their own hair. But it was their hair. It wasn't weave. It wasn't any of that. The school said it was unacceptable that they couldn't have braids. Yet they accepted, other little girls that went in with, the French braid, the pigtail braids and things like that. And so my cousin put up a little bit of a fuss, rightfully so, stating that if those people can wear, their hair braided, why does it matter if their braids here are fine or much more? They're more of them instead of just the two pigtails. There's nothing in the school's rules that state how many braids. So if you're saying that you can't have braids at all, then no, none of the kids should be able to have braids. And so they ended up putting out there, instead of accepting that and saying it's fine, they said no braids whatsoever. So even the white girls who went with pigtails, they couldn't wear pigtails anymore because those were braids. And that's the kind of stuff that a lot of people don't think about, especially those who don't have kids. So to tell your kid that they can't have a certain hairstyle or they can't do braids, even if it's their natural hair, because they can't. And they cite that it's too distracting. I like this bill simply because it talks about something that we haven't talked about in a very long time. And it's something that needs to be talked about. Because it doesn't matter who comes to work if their hair is not shiny, it's not glittery, it's not sparkling when they wave back and forth, no dandruff comes out. If if that's what you're talking about as far as distracting, that's not braids. That's not braids. And then they want to talk about afros, their hair is, too big. Okay. Okay. Forcing someone to straighten their hair, that's not acceptable. That's discrimination. Everyone has different types of hair. So I like this one. Um I want to see what she's got going on. Oh, by the way, she's Oregon's 5th district. I totally glossed right over that fact. But again, it's on the screen. Ugh. And so I have to give her a to be determined grade, just to be fair for everyone. But I'm hoping, based off of this, that she's going to do good for her constituents.